Okay, so you want a new smartwatch based on Google's Wear OS, but you also want some good battery life. Well, these are your best options. Now, I did not include the Amazfit Watch Pro 5 or the Pro 5 Enduro just because the software support has been very lacking and the software updates usually don't come. So I love the hardware and I love those watches, but I can't recommend them, so I left them out of this video. Now, the ones I think are the best battery life that run the Wear OS system are the Watch 5 Pro, it's on the left, the Watch 7 Ultra, which is in the middle, and the OnePlus Watch 2, which is on the right. I'm going to talk about what's the same on all these, what's different on all of them, and then why I would recommend each one and why I wouldn't recommend each one. So hopefully that will give you a lot of information to help you make your decision. Okay, so I changed the watch faces for you just so you can see the bezels on each of them. The Watch 5 Pro on the left and the OnePlus do have pretty chunky bezels. The Watch 7 Ultra does look a little more modern. I just wanted to point that out to start with, so if you're looking at these, just so you could tell the differences, that's kind of a big thing that you're going to see every day. So, okay, so let's talk about what's the same on all of these. Well, the screens are all made out of sapphire crystal, so super durable. They're all IP68 rated and military standard 810. They all have the AMOLED displays, and they all run Google's Wear OS. They all measure the basic fitness data, the heart rate, steps, calories burned, SpO2, stress, all that stuff. They all do the sleep tracking. They all have a barometer and a compass. But the Samsung does add some extra health features and safety features that the OnePlus just doesn't have. So both Samsungs have the bioelectric impedance analysis, or BIA. This allows to accurately measure your body composition. So this includes the body fat percentage, the body water content, and the skeletal muscle mass. The Samsungs also measure ECG, but does it manually. But the Samsung also does have an irregular heart rate detections, which Samsung does call irregular heart rhythm notification, and that runs in the background, so that's actually nice. The Samsungs also do have fall detection and SOS features. Now, that wasn't everything that's the same, but those are the big points. Now, let me get into some of the big differences between them. So obviously the designs are different on all these. So we got the Watch 5 Pro over here with that big bezel. The Ultra here has that square round design. I think they call it the cushion design. And then over here you got the OnePlus Watch 2 that does have a big bezel as well. The Watch 5 Pro, the Samsung Watch 5 Pro was released in August of 2022. The Watch 7 Ultra was just released in August of 2024. And the OnePlus was released in February 2024. So still a very new watch. And the prices at release were $450 for the Samsung Watch 5 Pro, then the Ultra was $650, and the OnePlus was $299. Now, the Ultra is still holding steady with that price, but it does have some great trade-in deals right now, and they come sporadically throughout the year. But the 5 Pro and the OnePlus have significant price reductions from their initial release price. Okay, so let's talk about an important thing here, the display. So the screen size is 1.4 inches on the Watch 5 Pro. The Watch 7 Ultra has a 1.5 inch screen, and the OnePlus Watch 2 kind of splits the difference, and it's 1.43 inches. The brightness, there is some big differences here. The Watch 5 Pro does have 1,000 nits, which is actually, I thought, perfect for outside, even in direct sunlight. I had no issues with it. But the Watch 7 Ultra goes up to 3,000 nits, so 3 times as much. Very super bright, probably overkill, but it's there. The OnePlus actually only has 600 nits, so that's kind of more in line with budget watches, honestly. I thought the brightness was okay in almost every situation. Occasionally it was washed out, but very rare. So even if you got the OnePlus, I don't think you have any issues with it. Okay, and these all have the AMOLED display. Like I said, they all have great resolution, but there are slight differences between them. The resolution on the Watch 5 Pro here is 450 by 450, 480 by 480 for the Watch Ultra, and 466 by 466 for the OnePlus Watch 2. And trying to keep all these screens on, it seems to be an impossible task, but I'll keep trying. Let's talk about the build on these. So the sizes are a little different, as you can see. The Watch 5 Pro over here is 45 millimeters, 47 for the Ultra, and it's, definitely bulkier there. We'll get into that a little bit more. And the OnePlus Watch 2 is 46 millimeters. So all very similar, though. The thickness on these is a little different as well. So let me talk about the thickness on these watches. This is the Watch 5 Pro, and this is 10.5 millimeters of thickness, which is actually bulkier for the time, and everyone complained about the thickness, or a lot of people did. But then the Ultra comes in and supersedes that at 12.1 millimeters. And you can see there's definitely a little bit bulkier. And then the OnePlus Watch 2 is actually just as bulky. This is 12.1 millimeters as well. Now, there is some weight differences on these guys. The weight on the 5 Pro is 46 grams. Then the Ultra goes up to 60.5 grams. And then the OnePlus Watch 2 goes to 49 grams. So the Watch 2 and the Watch 5 are pretty close. So let me talk about the straps here, because there's an important difference. This one is a 20 millimeter band, and any 20 millimeter band can go in there, so no problems exchanging out with any third-party band. The OnePlus Watch 2, same thing, but this is 22 millimeters, and 20 and 22 millimeters are both very standard fittings for a watch, so no issues getting replacement bands on there. Now on the Watch 7 Ultra, they went with a proprietary band here, so this clips in here, and then the band attaches to it. Now, they do make some third-party clips here that can clip into here and then turns it into a regular band, but you have to buy those, and they may not be quite as sturdy. The other bands you can get are from Samsung right now, but there's probably going to be some third-party bands in the future, but that definitely still limits your band selection by quite a bit, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk about the durability. The Watch 5 Pro here is rated for 5 atmospheres and made out of titanium. The Watch 7 Ultra, this is a big claim of durability. It does have some extreme altitude durability and temperature durability that it can withstand. It also does go to 10 atmospheres, so 100 meters if you're using this for diving, and it is made out of titanium. So definitely, if you want a super durable watch, this is the one you go with. Now, the OnePlus Watch 2 is also very durable, I think. Again, it has the sapphire crystal on the front, and it is made out of stainless steel. And you can see the different design here with this rotating bezel here doesn't actually rotate anything. It's just kind of a design. I don't know why they did that. And then you got the 2 buttons, which are a little asymmetric looking, so a little bit of a different design. Okay, let's talk about some internals on here. The GPS is the first one. The Watch 5 Pro over here does have a single band GPS. The Ultra went with a dual band, and then the Watch 2 also does have an upgraded dual band. So that's supposed to be more accurate. The chips are slightly different here. The Exynos W920 for the Watch 5 Pro. The Watch 7 Ultra has the Exynos W1000, which is 2 generations ahead of this one. Now, the Watch 2 went in a different direction, and they have a Snapdragon W5, and then a lower powered chip that is able to run a lot of the background functions and use a lot less battery. So that's why this one does have a better battery life, and I'll get into that in just a minute. The lower energy or more efficient chip is called the BES 2700, if you did need to know that. Now, the RAM and storage amounts are different on these. For the Watch 5 Pro, we got 1.5 gigabytes of RAM and 16 gigabytes of storage. On the Watch Ultra, it does bump up on both. You get 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage. And then the Watch 2 also does have 2 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of storage. So the Watch 2 is no slouch here. Now, let's talk about the battery, because that's the point of this video, and I kept you hanging on long enough, right? So the battery on the Watch 5 Pro and the Watch 7 Ultra is actually exactly the same. On my other videos, I said that was kind of crazy to have the same battery carried over from 2 years ago, but, Samsung's been doing that a lot lately. But the battery size on these two are 590 milliamp hours, and the Watch 2 here has a 500 milliamp battery, so kind of close. Now, the rated battery life, though, is different. The Watch 5 Pro over here has 80 hours, the Ultra only has 48 hours, and then the Watch 2 has 100 hours. And actually, that was kind of accurate on almost all of them. The Watch 5, I did get a little bit more battery life usually. The Ultra seems about right, and then the Watch 2, maybe a little bit more than the 100 hours as well, which is basically a little more than 4 days. The big difference is that OnePlus has a special power saving mode, and that's because of the dual chip design that it does have. So it has the Snapdragon for all the Google software updates, the Google Assistant, the Google Maps, and all that kind of stuff, and all the Google features, but it has the more efficient chip for the background stuff, and the background stuff is actually a lot of stuff, which I'll get into in a minute. But the power saving mode on the OnePlus Watch 2 is a little more restrictive. You lose all the Google features, so no Google Assistant, no Google Play Store, no Google Maps or anything like that, and you can't respond to text. So those are kind of the big negatives of it. But you still get monitoring of all your health metrics and all your sleep tracking data. And you could also still make and take phone calls, and you could do a lot of other stuff. I have a full video on the OnePlus, and I'll just leave a link here if you're interested in that, and I'll go into all the details of the power saving mode and what you can and can't do. But it actually is a lot of stuff, more than you would think. So I'll leave that for you to check out if you're interested in the OnePlus. Now, Samsung also does have a power saving mode, and it is less restrictive, but you get much less battery boost on it. So in power saving mode, the Watch 5 Pro here does not have a claimed battery life by Samsung. The Ultra goes up to 100 hours, and then the Watch 2 has a claimed rating of 12 days of power saving mode. Watch 2, actually, I tested this a lot, and I got consistently 10 days on this, so definitely a significant improvement on the battery life on these. And that's what makes the OnePlus kind of the battery champ of these three. The normal smart mode, where you just do all the functions that you want, this still has more battery life, and then you have the bonus power save mode, which will last, again, 10, maybe even more days on it, and then you get most of the features that you need. So definitely check out the OnePlus if you're looking for the best battery life. There's a couple other differences you should be aware of, because getting great battery life is not everything, and you want to make sure you have the features that you want. So on the Samsung, they have a couple of extra features, where the OnePlus is more of a straightforward smartwatch. So on the Watch 5 Pro and the Watch Ultra, you do get offline maps and GPX support. You also do get a temperature sensor on both of those. Now, the Watch Ultra does add a couple extra things. They have the AGE, which is the Advanced Glycation End Products, which supposedly gives you a measurement of your metabolic health, but the data you get from it is not very useful, and I don't know how you would use it for anything in your daily life, but it's there, and that might improve with time, I'm not sure. but right now it doesn't offer me too much information. But you also do get sleep apnea detection on the Watch 7 Ultra, and you do get an energy score. And the energy score is keeps track of your daily activity and your quality of sleep, and it gives you a number of how alert you should be for the next day. Now, the Watch 5 Pro did not get that yet, but that will probably come to the Watch 5 Pro in the future. But the other features like sleep apnea and the age score probably won't, because that's more related to the new hardware that's on the Ultra. The Watch 5 Pro also has reverse charging, so you can charge your watch with the back of your phone, which is nice. The 7 Ultra and the Watch 2 do not have that feature. So the charging speed is also different because, again, you get great battery life, but if you don't get the best battery life, you kind of want to charge it quick, or you just want to charge it while you're getting ready in the morning and make sure you have enough to go for the day. So for charging speed for the Watch 5 Pro and the Watch Ultra is the same at 2 hours. So 2 hours to go from 0 to 100 on that, but 60 minutes to go from 0 to 100 on the Watch 2. And the Watch 2 battery is not that much smaller than these guys, so there definitely is a fast charger on this one. Now, let's get into the conclusion of this, and let me tell you why you should buy each of these and why you should not buy each of these. Okay, so we'll start with the Watch Pro 2, since this one is the oldest. So, like I said, it is the oldest, so it's going to be the cheapest because it was $450 when it released. You can still buy this new in a few places, and it is selling for less, but you could also get a used one or a refurbished one, and obviously that would be much cheaper. Another reason to buy this is the build quality. It is still made out of titanium, and it's still super durable. Sapphire crystal on the front. Again, very durable on this. No issues with the quality on it. It does have, I think, a great battery life. Not as good as the OnePlus, but definitely still good battery life. And you get most of the same features and most of the same sensors as the Samsung Watch 7 Ultra, which is, a 2-year newer watch, and you get most of the same stuff. So that's kind of great. And the software features that are added to the 7 Ultra, you will get most of them on the Watch Pro 5 eventually. Now, why would you not buy this one? Well, you get 5 years of software support from Samsung, which is 4 years of major OS updates and 1 year of security updates. And this came out in 2022. You should be good until 2027. If you like to keep watches longer than that, then, maybe this is not for you. So another reason not to get this one is the big black bezel here. When you look at this every day, it kind of does look a little dated compared to the newer watches. And it does have the digital bezel. So I thought the digital bezel works just fine. You can scroll through everything very quickly, and no issues with it. And with this little raised ridge, it keeps your finger on the right spot with no problem, so that's great. But the big bezel might be a turnoff. The screen is also not as bright as some of the newer ones. This has 1,000 nits, which is definitely respectable. Definitely easy to see just about everywhere, but again, not as bright as the new watches, but I didn't have any issues with it. Another reason you might want to avoid the Watch 5 Pro is some people said it was laggy. I had no issues with it, but it is a 2-year-old processor at this point, and going forward a couple of years, it's going to, get a little older. There might be some issues down the road with the software, but for now, I have no issues with it. Okay, let's talk about the Watch 7 Ultra now. So why would you buy the Watch 7 Ultra? Well, you have to like the look of it, and it is definitely a unique look. So if you like that, then this is for you. You also have to like a little bit of a thicker watch and a little bit of a heavier watch. And, then this is for you. This is also super durable. So if you are an extreme athlete or you have any issues with durability in the past, this might be a watch for you to get. You do get the 3 buttons over here, and you do get a loud 89 decibel siren on here if you push and hold this button. So you might feel better knowing that you have that. It is the newest watch, so you're going to get the longest support on this one. This is 5 years from now. So this is covered with software updates until 2029, which is great. Another reason to get this is the okay battery life. It's good. It's not great, but it's not charging it every day. So that's a little better than some of the other WearOS watches. The screen is super bright, goes up to 3,000 nits, so if you have any kind of issues seeing your current smartwatch and you wish it was brighter in certain situations, then this watch is for you. Another reason to get this one, even though it does have a crazy price on here, is Samsung gives you crazy trade-in offers sometimes. So if you do have an older Samsung watch, check out the trade-in offers, and this might make incredible price a little bit more palatable. Check out the Samsung offers for your current Samsung watch, and you might be surprised to find it's a good trade-in value, and then the price of this watch may not be as bad as you thought. Now, reasons not to get this. Well, you got the proprietary strap here, which I don't like, but, if you don't change bands very often, I guess it's not a big deal. It is, like I said, a little bulkier, heavier, thicker than other watches. If you like that, then great. If you are going to be sleeping with this every night and you don't like to have a thick watch when you're sleeping, well, then this is, again, not for you. I told you about the expense. It is expensive, $650 for this, but that does have the LTE feature on here. So if you didn't want it, you're still paying for it. But if you did want it, it's included in the price, if that makes it any easier. And you also do have that digital bezel, which, if you wanted the physical bezel, you don't get it. So you got this over here. This also does have a raised ridge here, so it's very easy to stay on track and kind of circle through everything. So I thought the digital bezel worked fine with this, and you get used to it very easily. But if you want the physical bezel, then you would go with the Watch 6 Classic, and then you would be just charging your watch every night. And the other reason to maybe avoid the Watch 7 Ultra, this is probably not a big issue for many people, but you do lose reverse wireless charging on here. So if you did bring your phone, you can't charge it. unless you actually bring the charger with you, and you plug the USB-C into your phone, and then you got to bring the puck with you, and then you can charge it. If you don't have this, then you are not able to charge your watch back up. Now let's talk about why you would buy the OnePlus Watch 2. Well, like I said, you got great battery life on this. In everyday mode, just using all the features that are available, you should be getting up to 100 hours. So, 3, 4, 5 days on this with no problem. The OnePlus Watch 2 does add that power saving mode, which again, some features are disabled, but if you could tolerate those features, or if you don't use those features, then you're going to get 10, 11, 12 days of battery life on this. So that's really good, I think. In the power saving mode, it doesn't turn the watch face into a clock. You actually could just use this screen right here. And there's several watch faces that you could get that will operate perfectly fine in power saving mode. Again, check out my full video if you want to get all the details about the power saving mode, because there are a lot of features that are turned off. Another reason to get this one, I think it's a good value. It came out at $299, but you can get it for less than that now. And it is still a very well-built watch, very sturdy. I like the design on this. It's made out of stainless steel, and again, very well-built, I think. Another thing that makes this watch a battery champion is that it has quick charging. So you can charge your watch from 0 to 100% in 60 minutes. That's great. And if you're not charging it from 0%, you could just charge it in the morning for a little bit, and you'll definitely get a day or two out of it with no problem. Well, why would you not buy the Watch 2? Well, it is less bright. Again, the maximum brightness on this is 600 nits, which is not that great. I didn't have any issues seeing it, and the screen is very colorful and clear, so I didn't have any issues with it, but it is definitely not as bright as some of the other watches out there. You also do get less software support. I didn't I don't think I mentioned this in the video, but OnePlus promises right now just 2 years of WearOS updates and 1 year of security updates. That's 3 years total, and this came out in 2024, so again, you're going to get to 2027 on this. OnePlus might increase that software support, or it might decrease it, but for, that there's not that much of a track history on them, but for right now, you got 3 years of support. Also, the OnePlus definitely has less features than the Samsungs, less health features, the body composition and things like that, the ECG, the irregular heartbeat rhythms that Samsung detects, the fault detection, the SOS features. So a lot of that stuff is missing from OnePlus. If you liked any of those features, then you probably want to lean towards the Samsung. So all three of these smartwatches, I think, are great watches. It's just a matter of which one serves you the best and which one you'd be most happy with. Okay, so leave it in the comments which watch you're going with and why. I'd love to hear about it. And if you made it this far, maybe consider subscribing. I'd appreciate it. Maybe like and sharing this with someone who is considering buying a new watch. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much.